Have you felt it, that kind of low-grade humming anxiety about the rise of AI? You know, that mix of awe, excitement, and, yeah, a little bit of existential dread? It's a feeling a lot of us share, this sense that something huge and uncontrollable is happening. But what if the real source of that feeling isn't what we think it is at all?
Okay, let's just get right to it. Is this new technology messing with our heads? Because it sure feels that way sometimes, right? The news cycles, the doomsday scenarios, the creepiness of it all, it's a lot to take in.
I mean, just look at these: fear, control issues, existential panic. If any of this rings a bell for you, you are definitely not alone. The argument in the source material for this explainer is that we're taking these super intense, very human emotions and just projecting them all onto AI. But the real question is, why?
Well, here's the twist. The thinking here is that our anxiety isn't really about AI. Nope, it's about the world we were already living in. A world that gets a very specific name: Asphaltica.
And this is the core idea. Let it sink in for a second. The problem isn't the microchips, the algorithms, or the code. It's something much, much closer to home, something we're all swimming in every single day.
So what on earth is Asphaltia? Well, it's not a literal city you can find on a map. It's more of a state of being. It's our modern world, one that's just built on constant noise, relentless competition, and that feeling of never quite being on solid ground, especially financially. It's an environment that's designed, almost perfectly, to keep us chronically stressed out and disconnected from each other.
And the ingredients that make up this world are, man, they're so relatable. Our attention is already shattered into a million pieces. Our brains are constantly in this low-level fight-or-flight mode, from worrying about rent, sitting in traffic, our job security. We're overloaded by screens and asphalt and fluorescent lights, and we're often surrounded by crowds while feeling totally, completely alone. See, this is our baseline condition before AI even shows up to the party.
And this quote just nails it. AI isn't the drug that's causing the bad trip. The source is saying our whole society is already tripping on a heavy dose of anxiety and disconnection. AI just comes along and acts like a hallucinogen that cranks up the intensity of the visions we were already having.
Now, to really drive this point home, we're asked to imagine two very different worlds, both coming face to face with the exact same technology. It's a pretty cool thought experiment that really builds the case.
So on one side, you have Asphaltica. Here, our nervous systems are totally fried 24/7. Technology isn't just a fun gadget, it's a lifeline we're desperately clinging to. So when AI shows up, of course it becomes a mirror reflecting all our loneliness and our panic right back at us. But then on the other side, you have what the source calls saner environments. Think about places with a real sense of civic calm and a slower rhythm, like parts of Thailand or Scandinavia. The reaction there is totally different, because people aren't living on a knife's edge. Technology is just a tool. AI becomes this cool new instrument for exploring things, for creating, not a monster to be scared of. See? Same tech, different worlds, completely opposite outcomes.
Okay, so if the problem is our environment, then the solution has to be environmental too, right? That brings us to our final section. How do we actually detox our world? The path forward, it turns out, isn't about building a better chatbot, it's about building a better world.
And the core principle of the solution is this really simple but powerful idea you see here. Instead of trying to fix our reaction to the tech, we have to fix the environment that's causing the reaction in the first place. If we can just lower that background radiation of stress in our lives, our response to something new like AI will naturally become calmer, more curious, more creative.
So how do we start? The source lays out 3 really tangible steps. First, we have to redesign our physical spaces. Intentionally bring more silence and more nature into our concrete jungles. Second, we need to rethink our values. This means pushing back against that idea that every single thing in our lives has to be optimized or turned into a side hustle. And third, and this might be the most important one, we have to actively reconnect with each other. We need to bring back simple, powerful rituals like sharing a meal together or working on a creative project as a group to rebuild that social fabric we've lost.
This last quote. Wow. It just ties everything together perfectly. Our collective freak out over AI, it's not a sign of the technology's scary power. It's a symptom of how sick our environment is. It's just Asphaltica's own shadow, its own deep-down anxiety and loneliness, muttering back to itself through a new loudspeaker.
And so, at the end of the day, we're left with this powerful conclusion. The problem was never, ever the silicon. It was the smog, the constant grind, and the chronic disconnection of a world that was already making us anxious long before the first line of code was written.
Which really brings the question back to us, doesn't it? To our own lives. So take a second, look around you, listen to the sounds, think about your day. Are you living in Asphaltica? And if the answer is yes, what's one small thing you could change? Not about the technology, but about your world.